Well, it happened, so we have a couple. Oh, God. So we've got a couple hawk moths, tobacco moths, tomato worms, whatever you want to call them. They've left the pupae stage. They have now exited their pupae shell or whatever, and they are now coming out. I'm just disillusioned and sad right now because I had these guys sold. I chose not to go forward with this project. Unfortunately, the person who was supposed to buy them from me in Facebook spazzed out. Big shock there. Shout out to people who say they're going to show up and never do. So now they're back, and I'm not prepared to raise them, and here we are. So taking on that responsibility between now and the time I can find somebody to take them, because these guys cannot be let loose. So we have two. We have this one here, his big beautiful eyeballs, and we got this guy here. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have. I'm not going to touch them, but here's your shell. Pretty cool. Their pupae sleeve shell, whatever you want to call it. This is the one here. Yep. So it's been about 3 weeks from the time that they went into the underground or under the substrate. You can see in another video. Just look on my YouTube page. You'll see part 1, part 2. I think this is part 3 or 4 of raising hornworms, hawk moths, tobacco worms, tomato worms. They go by a lot of different things, but they're hawk moths. So I don't have a butterfly enclosure because I'm currently raising monarchs, and so we don't want them intermingling. I don't have nightshade plants like tomatoes or angel trumpets. When I say tomato, I mean tomato plant, sweet potato plant, angel trumpet. Some people use those. Tobacco itself, I don't recommend that. I don't have anything set up because they were supposed to have been gone a few days ago. So here we are. So I'm going to show you this makeshift crappy setup I have that they're going to stay in just for a day or so. I'm going to have to buy something off of Amazon, which is going to be 2 days to deliver. Between now and then, I can tell you this, and this one are going to come out because they are dark. Oh, wait, that's the shell. This one and this one are going to come out because they are dark. This one's on the way out. If you notice this brown color versus this black color, or it's not black, but it's nearly. When you get to this color here, they're coming out. So this guy and this guy, you can still see their shell, their little, I guess, shells or exoskeleton. I don't know what you call it. They just recently came out. These guys need to come out now. They need to go into a beautiful flower-filled enclosure that is full of nightshade plants. You can get on the internet and look up nightshade plants. I don't recommend going to a big box store. You do that, it's going to be covered in pesticides. So look for a local gardener. You can also ask your neighbors if they have a garden, if they don't mind selling you a tomato plant they can dig up. You can put in a little temporary pot. You want to put them in, you can look up on Amazon. I'll try to put a comment in the, or a link in the comments, if I can remember. I'm just at a loss because this was not supposed to happen. You see how much this guy's wiggling? You know what he's saying? I'm getting out of here. Buddy, there's nowhere for you to go, so I don't recommend coming out for at least a couple days. I'm going to still keep looking for someone to try to buy these guys. So what you want to do, like I said, go to Amazon, get a butterfly habitat. They're usually about 18 to 24 inches wide. They are approximately 24 to 30 inches tall. They are net mesh on 3 sides, including the top, and one side is clear plastic. Sometimes the bottom are net mesh, sometimes the bottom are solid fabric. Try to get the solid fabric ones. You're going to put paper towels down to try to catch all the poo. If you don't get one that has a solid bottom, you're going to have to put down a tray, a couple pieces of cardboard maybe with a piece of plastic over, and then set it down on top so the droppings will come out and not soak in the cardboard. You can just dump it. So because we don't have that, we're going to go redneck style here, for God's sake. And I have created this nightmare. So this is a Sterilite container. It's just what I had available. It's the tallest one that's not solid color like a black or dark blue. They gotta have light. This is 16 long, 14 wide, 10 high. This is such a nightmare. All right, so what we're doing here, I don't have any plants, for fuck's sake. So what we're going to do instead is use things that I know their little feet can attach to. This is just a clean, unused milk crate. Line it with the bottom of paper towels always. This is just a piece of wood I got from a pet expo that's not been used. It's clean, no germs, no issues. Just put that back in there. So this is the fun, ugly, goofy part. You need to make something because they got to eat pretty quick. They got to, look at his little butt wiggling. So these guys need to eat pretty quick. Their main thing is to get their wings to dry out and harden off. And so when that happens, they can start to fly and they're not vulnerable because now anything can just swoop down and eat them as a meal. See, you see him trying to wiggle his butt? That means he's about to head out. That's not good. It is if you want to raise them. It's not if somebody was supposed to come pick them up. So here we are. So what I've made is a fake generic plant. This is so bad. So it's filled to about right here. Not totally full, but right there's plenty. So where my finger's moving, right here. So you put in 30% natural organic honey that you get from a local honey person and definitely not from a big box store. It's full of contaminants, garbage, chemicals, it's trash. Don't use it. So you put that in the bottom and then you fill the rest up with water. If you got filtered water, bottled water is better than tap water, but if that's all you have, then that's what it's gonna be. So the other 70%, so I'll put about a tablespoon and a half, and that came down to about barely filled the bottom, and then I put the rest to, like I said, about this black line, maybe a little bit higher, of bottled Aquafina bottled water, and just stir, stir, stir. I made a fake flower head. This is 2 pieces of paper towels folded over together. And then I just crunched and crunched and crunched it, and I taped the insides, and you're going to be very careful. So when you put tape in, it doesn't actually come apart or come off. See, there's a piece coming off. We don't want to do that. Did a piece go in there? Oh, shit. Sure did. That's great. I can't tell you how pissed I am at this. I know you're not supposed to cuss. I don't care. I'm just mad as hell. You know, when people say they're going to be there, they're going to show up, freaking show up, man, because this is just such a burden on everybody, me. Thankfully, Corey's here in support, aren't you, Corey? Thank you, honey. What is in your face? What have you done? Thanks for your support. This is Corey, the wiener dog. My standard wiener. My standard black wiener. Her tail. She's always right in the middle of everything I do, which drives me absolutely nuts. But, you know, here we are. Okay, so here we are. Back to this. You're just going to take a paper towel and fold it over again. Crunch and crunch and crunch it up. You can use a little bit of tape if you want to, but you want to, oh God. So theoretically, this is supposed, I used a yellow cup. I don't know if they can see color. Who the frick knows? So bunch this up at the top. Make it look like a flower. I don't know that this looks like a flower, but I know it doesn't look like a cup at the top. So this right here is about as big for my finger to go in. Once they harden off completely, they're going to be about that wide. 3-ish inches, maybe a little wider, depending on the species. So that means they shouldn't be able to get in there. And like I said, that's about, you know, an inch-ish. So they can stick their very long tongues, which is several inches. It's like Gene Simmons from Kiss. They can stick their tongue in there and go straight to the bottom. You've got to feed them immediately once they harden off. You have to do that because they are thirsty. They've been in these things for about 3 weeks. They want to eat. So this is what they're going to eat. And then they would have real plants that are nightshade plants in here. Okay. Y'all stop that. Stop. Sorry, I've got a bunch of ding-a-lings. So you would, the Wiener crew, you would have nightshade plants they would rest on. They would lay their eggs underneath. They breed about 2 or 3 days after they emerge from here. Okay, so 2 to 3 days after this moment, they will be hardened off by the end of the day, hopefully in a few hours. I'm going to cover them back up and just kind of let them sit in there. Let them harden off on their own. Or I may take them out. You know, probably, I don't know, well, whatever. So let them harden off. They're going to start eating immediately. And within 2 or 3 days, they're going to start breeding. And then she'll lay eggs not long after. She's going to lay eggs on the underside of the leaves of the tomato plant, the tobacco plant, the potato plant, the angel trumpet plant, sweet potato, potato plant, whatever. Nightshade. Look it up. Nightshade plants. Look it up. So I'll put some of those in there. The taller, the higher this enclosure, the better. We need up here. Man, these guys need to fly. That's what the wings are for. That's why they lost their alleged legs, or what look like legs. They don't really have legs. But anyway, God, this video is going all wrong. I'm just super stressed because this is a terrible place to put these little guys. But this is just where we are now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just take them out for now, and I'm going to lay them inside of this container. And I'm going to quickly get back on Facebook and take some screenshots of this video and try to get folks to buy them. This is a great project. I already have a discoid roach project. I have superworms that I just hatched out into darkling beetles. There's so many of them. I'm getting them all to hatch to see what's male, female, so I can get the right ratio. I've got videos on my YouTube page about that. You can look for superworm breeding, and you'll see plenty of videos. I've got Ackies, I've got dogs, I've got work. I'm a software database engineer. I don't have time for this. I thought I did, but I realized I didn't. So a couple weeks ago, I put these guys up for sale. I thought I had a couple weeks to sell them, and they'd have been gone by now. They were supposed to have been. I already told you how that went. That bombed out. So thanks to Chris and Stephanie for not showing up like you said you would. Hope you trip and bust your mouths today. That's not nice. I still feel that way, but anyway, because it's put me in a bad position, and you know, things need to happen to people who do things wrong. So I'm just going to set this to the side. I don't want them to not have hardened wings and be able to fly well enough, and they end up crawling in there and drowning. That is going to be a nightmare. So all you're going to do is crush up some paper towels, mush it to where it appears that it is potentially a flower head. That's all you're trying to do, and you're trying to make sure, don't leave it open. Leave it open, they're going to fly right in there and die. So, of course, they can't swim, and you get a big old mess of honey. That's going to be bad. Going to be real bad. So, we're just going to leave that hole about an inch-ish big around. I'm going to quit messing with it because it's going to fall in there. You can tape the sides a little bit if you want, just to make sure it doesn't fall in. And make sure you don't put enough liquid in the bottom to where it starts to soak up through here. Because if that happens, then the whole thing's going to be a soggy, soppy mess. And boy, you're going to have another problem. So this looks flower-ish head enough. Oh, Christ. And I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to take these guys out because I guess it's better to take them out and put them in now so I can watch their progression and hear as they climb on stuff. They're just going to lay on the bottom for now. But when I opened this, being only 5 or 6 inches tall, they could fly right out and I could not be able to catch them without accidentally hurting them. So let's go ahead and get this going. I gotta go back to work. Let's just get this guy picked up gently. I know, baby. And I'm going to put you, oh, look at that beauty. Oh, damn, see, he just fell. You okay, buddy? All right, get on there. So here's our little guy. He is coming alive. He can't fly yet, but that's what he's going to look like. All right. So he just needs to find a place to rest where he can get those wings to harden off. There he goes. Look at him. He said, I fell backwards. Help, I've fallen. I can't get up. Now he down here falling. He down here falling. See. Put stuff in there he can hang on to. Look, he's got to learn to use those legs. He didn't have them before. All right, let's get this guy. Oh, he's right on my finger. Come here, buddy. It's okay. I got you. Oh, shit. No, I don't. All right, let's look at this guy. I do not know how to sex them. Do not ask. Oh, shit, there he goes. Shoot. I mean, I don't know if it's a boy or girl. I don't know what it is. I just know this is a nightmare for me. So there he is. You can see our other guy back here. Keeps falling down. Can't figure out how to walk yet. That's okay. They just came out. I know with monarch butterflies, they can't see, they can't smell, they have no ability. Their senses are gone when they come out of their little pupae stage. So you can see how clumsy they are and just being still. They need time. So I don't know if they're similar, if these moths are similar to butterflies where they can't see or hear and they're just kind of in an infant toddler type state until they have a few hours to get their bearings about them. But it's kind of looking that way. So we're going to let them just hang out. There's plenty of material for them to clasp onto or hide under the egg crate. This guy's all over the place. And so you can see the tongue. See that long tongue right there? Look at that. The little circle things in front of us at the bottom of it where his mouth is. Look at that. That sucker is long. He needs to get flipped over. He needs to get flipped over. And he needs to dry out. He needs to calm down is what he needs to do. It's all over the dang place. So he just needs to calm down, dry out. Like this guy here is just chilling. That's probably a female. I know with my monarchs, the females are usually like this. They're all over the place. The boys just kind of hang out and chill until they get their selves together. So I don't know how to sex them. I didn't read that far. I don't know if you can. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave them like this. I have a container. Oh, great. He's going underneath of the shit. See, this is exactly why I hate people who don't respond. Now he's down here and he's got to come out. Come on, buddy. Get off my finger. He's underneath a paper towel. Oh, I don't want him on my hand. It's just creeping me out. There you go. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to do that to you, but I had to get you off of me. I don't want them getting underneath of the paper towel. They'll never find their way back out. Oh, that was awful. Sorry. It just creeps me out when they're on my finger like that. So I'm going to go ahead. With Corey's help, thanks Corey, being right in the way, girl. I'm going to just put this lid on. I'm going to leave it a little cocked over to the side. I'm not going to close it. Let some air come in. Not a lot. This is a horrible setup. I highly recommend don't ever make a setup like this. It is absolutely dreadful. This needs to be full of plants, living plants, not fake. They need to live on there, believe that they're comfortable and happy in their home, then they can breed and lay eggs underneath the, put these over here, underneath the plant leaves. That's our goal. So, Jesus Christ, I've got 15 more of these. And I can tell you, this and this will be out in 24 hours. I am not rushing out to go buy nightshade plants and wait 2 days to get something back from Amazon. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I know I'm talking myself out of it. I don't want to do this. I want somebody to come get them, just to buy them. I just sell them for $1 a piece, take them all. But here we are. I'm going to sign off for now. I got to get back to work. When their wings are hardened off and I feel like they are capable enough to get their wits about them and they can move around safely, I will put this fake water and honey mixture in. I don't recommend using pure sugar. The honey has a lot of natural ingredients inside of it that'll be good and healthy for them, and it more simulates the nectar that they, or pollen, or nectar, yeah, I guess they would enjoy eating. So signing off. Hopefully this will be my last video and I won't have a video showing my new setup because I really don't want to keep these things. All right, thanks. Have a good day.